Yo, hello everybody. What's good? Joey J. Ping here, checking in live, man. RespectMyRegion.com. We are back with another podcast here today on the RMR Podcast Network. Today, though, is the very first Respect the Tech podcast. Today, we have two very special guests. I'm honored. I'm excited to have you guys here. With me today. We have Mathieu and Marc of S&T GeoTronics. How y'all living today?
Hey,
Hey,
thank you
doing
so
good.
much,
Thank
Joey.
you.
Thanks for having us.
It is a pleasure. It is an honor to be there. You guys are our first technology industry podcast for Respect My Region. It is a wonderful expansion project for us that we look forward to, highlighting the world of technology, whether it's cool consumer products or really, really data driven, change the world kind of things. So it's services. Just there's so much out there in the world of technology. And fellas, we physically met. Let's give them some context, right? We met at CES, the Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas this year. It was my first year attending. I met you guys on the very last day for me of my trip there, when I discovered that there was a startup area, right, in the Venetian, where all these different smaller businesses, these startups, were all there launching their brands, debuting these products, right, connecting, building dots, some instances raising money on Kickstarters and all these things, right? And I came across you guys. So I'm familiar with what S&T GeoTronics does at a bare minimum, but if you wouldn't mind introducing yourself, who's who, and sharing a little bit of info about what your company does, that would be huge.
All
Awesome.
right.
So I'm Matthew, and I'm Mark here's son. It was great meeting you at CES, Joey, and we had a great conversation about technology and about the startups that we had around us. We were there at the Jellup tent, the Jellup booth, and that was an opportunity given to us after working with Jellup on our latest Kickstarter. And so we do appreciate the opportunity, Joey. So thank you so much.
Of course, fellas, I appreciate your time. So you're Matthew, Mark's the OG here. Mark, what's your story, brother? What how did we get into all this? What's
Okay.
going on?
So first, S&T GeoTronics is S&T. So the S is for Sanderson, my business partner, who's not with us at the moment. He's busy. And the T is obviously for Tessier. So we are a 12-year-old two-guy operation business that came up with, for our needs, came up with a requirement to build for ourselves a Enigma replica. We were doing a geocaching game and needed something to encrypt messages, and figured that we'd buy an Enigma machine. Well, you can't just go out there and buy an Enigma. They're $100,000-$200,000 if you can find one. So we said, let's buy a kit, because we love making stuff with our hands,
Yep.
and we're a big fan of DIY. So, but there was no kits available. So we created our own machine. Didn't think
Okay.
anybody would care, and we offered it for free on Instructables as a recipe how anybody could copy it. Overnight, I get 10,000 views on our Instructable, and I get people from all over the world asking us if we could make one for them or offer them a kit or something. So it was overwhelming. Absolutely did not expect that kind of thing, and now it doesn't take very long before we're starting to receive. People say, "So how much is it to make me one?" Whoa, whoa, whoa! I don't have time. I'm a network engineer. I'm flying to different hotels every week to install internet, and and James, my partner, said, "Well, if I ever have to make another one of these, I'm going to want $1,000." So the price stuck, and I said, "Yeah, go away. It's $1,000. I don't have time for this." The checks start coming in, by mail, the PayPal account, and it's like, oh my God, what did I get into? I don't know. How many raw material do I need to buy now? I'm on the hook, right? So we decide to launch a Kickstarter, and we're thinking that $30,000, $20,000 in 30 days would be reasonable. Well, within 5 days, we reach our goal, and we were featured as one of the best of Kickstarter on the first week.
Wow.
And we finished a campaign with $63,000 in the 30 days and 100 orders kind of thing. So we had to prepare those kits and assemble and test the device and fulfill. And I'm very proud to say that on this Kickstarter campaign, we're one of the very, very few Kickstarters that delivered 100% of our products, rewards on schedule, on time, and we're very proud of that. So
That's huge.
that's how we started.
That's incredible, man, and so inspiring, right? Because it's like you did it out of creativity and fun. You did it out of passion and interest, right? And then to think like, okay, we're gonna go look it up online, and oh my gosh, it's wide open. No one's doing it. It's or the barrier to entry is so high that it's just not able to really be achievable by, like you said, 10,000 plus people of interest, right?
Yeah.
And so it's very interesting because from like a business or a brand building perspective, guys, you find a problem, you're able to solve it. And with you being an engineer and your experience, do you feel that that really played a pivotal role in you identifying that and ultimately helping to bring that to life there?
Absolutely. My business partner, James, is very, very skilled and mechanically inclined and gifted. And through just a need for us, we just needed one machine for our own play. And it just turned out that there's 248 other people on the planet that bought a assembled and tested Enigma, and even more people that bought our kits to build one for themselves.
Wow.
And whether so we have three types of clients. We've got, of course, doctors and millionaires who need something unique to put on the mantle and show off to their friends, so they have something that nobody else has. And that's a 33% of our customer base. We have the DIY person that enjoys creating something with his hands and building something and having a physical product at the end. And we've got education, very, very big in schools and so
Museums.
on. And then we have the museum.
Yeah.
We have a bar in London that's called the Bletchley that bought 12 of these Enigma replicas.
Yeah,
So
because you think about it like if you're going to design a store, right, you have to decorate it. Or if you want to design an experience, right, you need to decorate or create some kind of vibe, right?
escape rooms are a customer of ours around the world. We shipped our Enigma to 35 different countries, and so I quit my job for this. The Kickstarter was a phenomenal success for us at our level, kind of thing, and I said, and my company said, we're going to shut down our Georgia offices. So if you want to move to Sioux Falls, South Dakota, it's okay. And I said, no, thank you.
No thanks. Sorry, South Dakota. I'll take my talents to South Beach. Let's go.
So
That's funny. That's funny. No, I love it. How interesting is that? So, which products do you guys create today? What's on the lineup now? Can we do a little show and tell, fellas?
of course,
Absolutely.
absolutely.
Let's go.
All
This is the
right. So
fun part, everybody. What are we
I've
looking
been
at here?
talking about the Enigma. So we're very proud of our kits, okay? And our kits are very, very successful. But some people don't have the time, tools, or talent to build their own. So we also offer it assembled and tested. So this is our flagship. This is the thing that put us on the map, kind of thing, literally. And this is our Enigma replica.
Wow.
So it's 100% compatible with the real thing, the German Enigma. It can encrypt and decrypt everything from a 3-rotor or 4-rotor machine, and there's no reason to have this. Okay, there's a free app that exists already, and there's simulators, emulators, and all the like out there. There's more encryption power in your cell phone than there ever was in this, but yet people appreciate good craftsmanship, appreciate having a physical unit in their hands, and that's what the Enigma machine is.
And
So-
just a note about education for students and for teachers. This is a great tool to learn about basics of coding and basics of encryption and decryption as well.
And because we're open source, we give everything away. We give the code, we give the schematics, we give the bill of material. We help people build their own unit, and so it's all online. It's all free. You don't have to give us a single dollar, and you can replicate your own Enigma machine if you want. Then the story continues. Yes.
I think I saw the Enigma in a movie on Netflix, right?
Oh, of course. So you're talking about the Imitation Game.
Yes, that was a
One,
great movie. I still watch that
Benedict
every
Cumberbatch.
time it's on Netflix. I end up watching it.
Yes, I've seen it quite a few times, and I also enjoy it tremendously. It's a really good movie. Uh, and then a few years ago, for the 50th anniversary of the moon landing, so that was 2019, we decided to build, as a suggestion from one Enigma client of ours. He says, "Hey, it'd be nice if you built a D ski." So we're at 2018. The 50th anniversary is coming up in 2019, and we did some research on what's a D ski. So D ski is the short for display and keyboard. It's the
Cool.
guidance computer. So this is the computer that put man on the moon. There was two of them in the command module and one of them in the lunar module, and that's how they were able, the astronauts were able to enter commands to figure out their position in space and fire the Saturn V retro rockets and all of that.
Wow.
So, and again, same model, open source. We give it away. You don't need to give us a single dollar, and you can make your own. The 3D printed files are available online. The code and bill of material, schematic, and everything. And that also has been a great
So yeah,
success.
people will pay for it to be built for you, or they'll pay for the kits, right? Or if they want to go do it themselves because they're even more of a DIYer. Give them
Exactly.
the free game. Let them have fun with it. It's the culture is out there if they want to do it. I love that approach.
That's our motto.
Yeah.
It's two things. Number one, it respects.
History can be for everybody. Culture can be for everybody.
Absolutely. It respects people's wallet size, and it respects people's ability to make, right? The
Come on,
time.
man. This is why you guys are a perfect fit, man. Episode 1, Respect the Tech podcast, folks. You got to respect that hustle. You got to respect the model. And sitting there right now, you got to respect the tech. They're literally bringing back technology that was pivotal in history around the world, bringing it back to life, open sourcing it for people. Not if you have no money and you want one of those, and you can go look online and over time figure out how to buy the materials and the goods and execute the playbook. If you have a chunk of change, you can buy a finished one today at the website. Let's go.
There you go. That's exactly
Let's go,
You
man.
get it, Joey.
You sure do.
I love it. I love it. How cool is that? Okay, so those are two of the items. I believe I saw a couple more when I saw you in person. What else do we got? You guys, this is cool. It's like we're in a museum right now.
So that was the second Kickstarter, right? And we figured again, 20,000 in 30 days would be reasonable. That brought us $83,000 in those 30 days. And I'm still building them. I've assembled 155 so far. That's my last serial number, and as many kits has been shipped all over the place.
So our latest and most recent Kickstarter. This is what
I remember. This one. This is the one. This is the one that quote unquote I discovered you with.
That's
yes,
right.
Correct. Absolutely.
This is the open Antikythera, and the Antikythera mechanism was found as a pile of rust at the bottom of the Mediterranean Sea about 100 years ago. But it was after images were taken of the insides and of the mechanism, there's gears inside that were rusted in place. And so this is an ancient Greek mechanism, theorized to be
built by Archimedes 200 years before Jesus Christ was born.
Wow.
In Sicily, which was then part of Greece, and it dumbfounded, whatever, the people who found it, because they could not understand how 2,000 years ago the ancient Greek had the ability to make something so intricate. The gears, there's gears with 223 teeth. They're all meshing. There's 62 different gears that all connect together to predict the positions of the 5 naked eye visible planets, the phases of the moon, the eclipses of the moon and the sun, along with it will tell you where the next Olympics are going to be in 4 years, and when it's time to plant your
The crops, like the almanac stuff, almost.
which was what important back then. But so over the years, scientists were figuring out how is this possible? How could the Greeks have built this with the technology that they had 2,000 years ago? So it must come from the aliens, or it must come from somebody who was doing some time travel.
The future conspiracy is back. Let's go.
Right.
Time traveling. Man, how interesting is that? Okay, so it tells it shares a variety of information, very intricate design, and technology that is very clearly ahead of its time for the era at the end.
Yeah, by about 1,500 years.
It took 1,500 years before the next orrery or the next similar mechanism
of gear work and precision gear work like that was ever found again in history.
Wow.
So it's about 1,500 years out of place in the historical record.
Talk about eccentric cool shit to have on a table or in your house, or like
Absolutely.
as part of your like restaurant or a dispensary or whatever. This is museum worthy right here. It's cool to be able to learn and get the history of that and be able to tie that in a real world setting, guys. I think that's something that we look at education today and how we're all on our damn phones too much. Even right now with us doing a digital show and tell, the fact that I can learn from you right now while also being able to see that and then be able to potentially look on the internet and even dive even deeper into things, I think that's incredibly valuable on how to learn in today's world. A combination of digital meets physical meets history. It's powerful, guys. It's powerful. So that's the current piece, and that one did pretty well. You said it did over 60,000.
So so this third Kickstarter of ours ended up with $68,510 from 96 backers in 34 days. So we're still in fulfillment. It overwhelmed us. We definitely did not expect that many units that we'd have, that many kits that we'd have to prepare, and that many units that we'd have to assemble. Because you have to understand, this, unless you have a Saturn V rocket, you don't need a space computer like the D-Ski. It's not doing you any good. There's free apps, and and this is very nice, but it's useless. You can get the same information on Google right now, right? So, and there's a free app that exists. So you do not need any of these devices. Very few people were even aware of what an Antikythera mechanism is.
Mm-hmm.
So the expectation was low. We didn't think, it would, but it again overwhelmed us. So three in a row. Okay, so overwhelmed by the success of the Enigma, overwhelmed by the D-Ski success, overwhelmed by this Antikythera, and now we're scratching our head trying to figure out what's product number 4.
Okay. This is the fun part, when you guys get to get a little creative and get a little crazy, huh?
There's been suggestions about a Babbage differential engine. There's been suggestions to do with vacuum tubes and Nixie clock. The Volta battery is really cool.
Here's what I need. I need the Iron Man gun.
A working one, right? Yes.
But Joey, that's a little bit movie prop, right?
I know. We need something a little bit more historical. What's something that's like really? What about like? Is there something that was really ahead of its time on the Titanic, or what about even going further than that? What about even going further than that? What was on the very first submarine that was ever made? Right. This is always super cool with you guys, because we get to go through the generations, the time periods, the eras. I won't say eons or whatever, like the Jurassic Park. Yeah, we don't get to do technology in the dinosaur eras, but it's interesting to think about what you guys could do to bring back historical technology into a real world reality for today, right? And I think that's where it's something really cool. Again, Respect the Tech podcast, everybody. you guys got to respect the tech. You got to respect the passion. You got to respect the hustle. They're betting it all. Man quits his job, got his son here. It's a great opportunity. Great story, man. It's super cool. I really appreciate you guys joining. So, fourth product. If you had to name, what's at the top of the list? You don't have to say which one you landed on, but if you were gonna get, what's the top three potential items for you guys for the what's really, or even like not even necessarily the product. What's the top three direction you're considering? How about that?
So I will say you guys have invested in a CNC machine and talk about a little bit of the metal
Yeah.
ideas that you have.
What's
All
a
right.
CNC machine?
So a CNC is a computer numerically controlled machine. So basically, so a 3D printer is computer numerically controlled, so it could be considered a CNC. But really, when we say CNC, we're talking about a lathe, or we're talking about a device that carves out of material. So 3D printing is additive manufacturing. You start with nothing and you build it up. And a CNC is common subtractive manufacturing. You give it a plate of material, like in our case, it will be brass, and then you cut out the teeth and you make gears out of it, for instance. Mm-hmm. So in our short future, as soon as we can be done with fulfilling our current Kickstarter obligation, we intend to build a full brass version of this. So we bought this Wazer machine, which is essentially a desktop water jet that will allow us.
I was just going to say, is water jets falls into that line of CNC? And now hearing you say that, it does.
Absolutely. Yes, yeah. It's definitely. So James designs whatever he wants, and whether he gives it to the 3D printer or the laser cutter or the Wazer, the water jet, or soon our round machine, is up to him and his fabrication process, right? But so once we're done with this Kickstarter, we're going to use our Wazer and build a solid brass replica of the Antikythera. And right now they're done out of Delrin on the laser cutters and some 3D printing, but we're really excited about this brass unit. It's going to be heavy, it's going to be expensive AF, but and the yield, the number of units is probably going to be very small, and that's fine. But it's going to be exciting for us to go to cross that threshold where we build with solid brass, and then after that, after we've made a few of these and sold them, then we're thinking about the next project. And I'd like your viewers to, if they have suggestion, I'm really, I open it worldwide. Please give us ideas of historical computer that we could reproduce and make. We're right now, like I said, we're thinking about the Babbage differential machine. We're thinking about the Volta that Mr. Volta invented essentially the first battery. We're thinking about a possibly similar device like the ENIAC, the Bombi. So the Bombi is what Benedict Cumberbatch created in his in the movie Imitation Game, and it'd be really, really cool to have a small scale replica of that. And a lot of our backers and clients have suggested it, so it's swirling around. But the issue is we're already making German Enigma replicas, and now we're going to try to put on the market a bomb. Right? This is gonna hit the FBI radar somewhere, and I'm not looking forward to having being escorted out of my house by two of these guys. So that's an issue kind of thing.
Replicas, Mark. Replicas, not the real thing. Come on.
Right.
Come on. No, that's incredible, and again, what a cool story, and to hear the different directions that you can possibly go, limitless to some extent, but also too, what are those core things that qualify it as being, worth going down a Kickstarter project, right? So
Right.
let's talk about that. You found you're 3 for 3 on Kickstarter with when it comes to just your goals, achieving them, and arguably blowing some of them out of the water, right?
Yeah. Thank you.
So, well, no, great work. You don't need to say thank. You did it. You guys did it. I'm just speeding a fact that happened already. You guys already did it. So, what qualifies the next good idea? Like when you were thinking about those other ones, was it just like, yo, this is the one, I know it, or was there some kind of businessy checklist or something that you was like, these are gonna be if we hit this, check, 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 we have a really good chance that this is gonna work. What were
That's
your
a
thoughts?
really
What were
good
your thoughts about that?
question.
That's an awesome question.
When my dad first came to me with the idea for the Anti-Kithra Kickstarter, um, I I was I had to mull it over in my head to see if it aligned right with the past Kickstarters. And once that process is done, it's like you have to believe it in order for it to become true. So
Yeah, naturally we got to grind it out, right?
yeah, and it's absolutely about that. It's is it something that we would enjoy playing with, that we want to see exist? And if that's the case, odds are other people will as well.
That's
Yeah.
it. That's exactly it. It turns out that if you need something, there's somebody else over there that would probably like it too.
I always equate it, guys. I try to keep things simple, stupid, and I'm not that smart, and I'm kind of simple, right? And so, for better or for worse, if it looks good, if it's fun, if it tastes good, probably a lot of other people eat it too, or drink it, or
That's
That's
smoke it,
exactly what
or
it
play
is.
with it, right? And we know that toys, whether it's fancy toys or adults or for kids, that's a hundred plus $1 trillion, whatever $1 trillion industry it is. And you guys are fitting a nice niche in there, right? With the collectibles and the DIY or just the finished good product, right? The actual finished good. And I love that. I think that's super cool. I buy kits that are less than $50 from Target and give those to people for gifts often. I literally bought Valentine's Day DIY kit to make myself a little chocolate heart myself. Buy the ingredients. I had to buy separate chocolate and the kit. That's the
Yeah.
same, and that's at Target. That psychology is already built into people, and so it's interesting because so many people talk, guys. This is why I respect the tech, why I respect y'all, and why I really enjoyed meeting you guys and seeing the operation and learning more about it. And it's all cool. But so many people complain about not enough opportunity, and yet here you guys are solving a rare problem, creating interest for people that they didn't even necessarily, they know they had it, but they didn't know they needed it like that. They didn't know
Mm,
they needed to fill that missing thing so much that they're willing to spend $1,000 or maybe 500 or maybe
Yeah,
50 like I am for a kit, right?
yeah.
So whether it's volcanoes or whether it's NASA spaceship, rocket ship scientists, computers, I look forward to more creations from you guys. As I mentioned, you guys, I told you my grandpa. Shout out to my grandpa Larry Wallace. He worked at NASA for years and a variety of other private, aerospace companies, and I never really understood that stuff because that technology is kept behind the scenes. It's all secretive. You don't really know until it's archaic tech and then it becomes brought to life. You guys are bringing back history to life now, and I think that's amazing. Fellas, before we get you out of here, I got a couple more questions. You know, where can people follow along on the journey? What's the website? What's the social media like for you guys? Where can people participate with what you got going on?
absolutely. And thanks for the opportunity. Feel free to visit our website at stgeotronics.com. And that's where you're going to be able to find all of our socials, all of our links, our store, and all of our products that we have to offer, and be part of the conversation. To reach out to us and suggest further ideas and collaboration, we're always open. And it has our story and our core values there. So we really appreciate your followers visiting us and joining our story.
We have a newsletter, and we currently have a close to 100 people in our newsletter, which is a reasonable number for us. And
Yeah, it's a niche community, guys. We're talking your website. I got it pulled up right here for everybody. It's retro tech, guys. You know, Like it's a very, very specific group of technology, of enthusiasts, of people who love and appreciate this kind of thing. And I look forward to supporting the journey.
All
I
right.
look forward. I look forward to having one of the devices behind me in my studio, so I can tell the story, and ultimately, I can help share the history behind that, and contribute to growing your guys' email, man. Now, fellas, I'd like to end every podcast with just giving the floor to my guests. I'd love to give you guys the floor to talk about maybe your brand or maybe what you guys stand for or represent. Maybe it's letting people know, something specific about the item that you really care about it, whatever it is. But ultimately, the floor is yours, and I appreciate y'all.
Okay. Well, the one thing you're not going to hear from me is AI. We don't do AI. We're not about AI. And this is not an AI conversation. Okay. All right. We we're a big fan, like like we said, retro tech, right? So it's older products, and we bring technology. We're open source. Arduino is at the heart of every product, essentially. The Antikythera is fully mechanical, but we're even considering uh, possibly adding an Arduino to it, so you can request what date, and then it would show you where the planets are aligned on that date
Oh, that's
and
that's
what's the
cool.
phase of the moon, kind of thing. So the Arduino would actually do the cranking for you, and maybe an LCD display that gives you similar information. And about the brand,
I just want to say thank you, Joey. Thank you. Respect the tech, right?
yes,
Respect the tech.
You
Respect
respect the tech podcast, respectmyregion.com. Let's go.
I love it.
you guys are
Absolutely.
awesome, and it was great meeting you at CES and getting this opportunity. So we really appreciate it.
What do you guys have coming up? You guys got any events going on? Can people meet you in real life? Where are y'all at in the world?
All right. So we're planning this summer to be in Atlanta at the Vintage Computer Festival, which is hosted inside the
Southern Fried
Southern
Gaming
Fried
Expo.
Gaming Expo. It's really cool. We've been there we've done it a few years, and enjoy the audience because it connects with us. And we love Maker Faire. The World's Maker Faire in New York was a super amazing experience, just like CS is. And
And also stay tuned. That may not be our last CES event. I absolutely fell in love with Las Vegas, so there's no reason why we shouldn't be there again.
yeah, if we can manage to get a booth again, a table next year, I'm definitely planning on
Hey
being there.
man, you're batting 3 for 3 right now, fellas. So shouldn't be too hard to pick the Kickstarter style project and platform you want to work with and get it right back out there, man. I really appreciate your time. It was an honor and a pleasure to listen and hear the story and to spend time with both of you guys. How cool is it to be able to have these 3 products successfully launch as a startup on Kickstarter? Again, 12 plus years, probably decades in your realm, Mark, in terms of just engineering and technology and innovation. It's cool. It wasn't always cool, right, Mark? That was kind of the problem, right? Is it wasn't always cool. You were different
Correct.
for a long time, and that made it hard for collaboration. But now, being smart, being creative, doing things that help other people or put a smile on people's face, you're doing that full on. And so I respect the tech. I respect y'all, and I appreciate you guys. For those of you guys watching, be sure to tap in. We will have more of these episodes coming your guys' way. This is the first official Respect the Tech podcast. I'm Joey J. Ping. This is Mark and Matthew over at S&T GeoTronics. Make sure y'all tap in and support them. Order one of these devices. Get a kit as a gift for somebody. But either way, you guys got to do what you got to do and support